Okay, we 2 down, 2 to go. This is the third race of the Zwift Insider Tiny Race Series. This is number 3, Downtown Titans. I know this race, but I don't really know. I think I've only done this race in group rides. And with group rides, the race is pretty simple. I do the D-class group rides, and I just do that to build up my level in height so that I can get my Tron bike. That's what I'm chasing now. It's one of the things I'm chasing. But I'm on this race and I look up and this is the Downtown Titans. I don't know this race, but I think the mistake I made here on this race was, like I said on the last one, I started trying to do a little bit more. I'm going to stay with the group as long as possible and then try to pull away. And you'll see the disaster that became for me on this race, and we're off. As I pull off, I decide that instead of putting 500, 600, 700 watts into it, I'm just gonna do what I normally do on a simple ride, just get the pedals high so that I can get the speed going. I have to be honest with myself. I was tired. I don't think this was, if you saw the first 2 races, I stayed with you for a little while and then I just left. I could not pull away. I couldn't. If you notice my wattage, I try to get it up, but it would just come back down because my legs would go instant tired. So I just could not pull away. And so this race became more of a really endurance. I figured once I do get to the point where I'm winning all 4 races, it's time to really move up. But until then, you can understand why I'm still here, because when the competition is there and I got people who can push me, it becomes a real race. Now, it's nice to have these guys on my tail like this. It gives me something to keep fighting for. But when I'm as tired as I am on this race, my legs are just tired. And I'm just doing anything to fight through it. And I did not realize, I thought since the first one was a hilly race, I thought Titan City is the one where you see with like I think the bikes and stuff on there. I'm thinking to myself, this is not gonna be a super hard race. But it is a hilly race. It's flat at first. This is the part where I hurt myself because I allowed people to stay around me because of my tiredness. My legs were tired. I should have pushed through this a lot harder and just put some distance in between us. I should have shifted into a lower Titan setting and just put power into it and just took off. But in my head, I was like, man, I think I can get better if I just stay around them. And you see, I can't pull away from them. And then this little gravel and sand comes and I go, okay, cool, it's not bad. I can fit through this. I can get through this and just keep going. That's what I was thinking to myself. And it wasn't much. And it said hills. It said Titan Downtown. I think it's Downtown Titan. So I'm thinking it's not going to be that much gravel. It's just more of here and there. But I could never, if you see, I can't put the distance in no more. I'm trying, but this race I feel. I don't know if it, like I said before, I don't know if it's because of the race I did the day before, but I feel this race. I feel the weight of the bike. I don't know how to explain it. I feel my legs feeling really like there's nothing left in them to really push, and that's a soreness that at this point, I have to be honest, I was thinking I just want to get the race over with. I want to let me get placed in this one. I'm hoping top 10 I'll feel great about. And so I just start trying to maintain. I'm not even trying to outdo these guys because I know they with them behind me, it allows me to get pushed, which I'm gonna be happy. I'm happy to say allows me to keep going, but I'm tired. And I'm thinking, if it just stays like this at a 1% incline and then go down, I should be able to pull through. I'm hoping for a decline that allows me to get ahead, but I don't see one in the preferably future. This is not a couple of laps. This is just one straight race. If you notice on one, I think the last Zwift Insider last week we had one of them where there was loops. and that way you can kind of memorize by the first loop, in the first loop, what was going on in the second, and by the third one you're off and running. Like the Glasgow races that I do, I know that route by heart now. So as I come to another straight, this is starting to seem more familiar to the I want to say it's, I don't know what his name is, but one of the robot trainer rides. This is Titans Grove, and I've done this Grove, but I've only done it in group rides, so I never had to really extend myself. So with this race, I'm extending myself, and I'm looking at it, and it doesn't seem that, for me, 2.7 is only if I push my hardest, it's less than 5 minutes. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself, maybe if I push real hard, if I push hard now, it's only a 5-minute race, but I don't have the energy. I don't know how to explain it. I don't have the energy to push through this thing, to stay ahead of everyone. And as you can see, I am slowly staying in the lead. I'm in the lead. I'm number 2 in the pack, but I have the whole pack on my back. I got about 10 guys on my back right now the whole time. I hadn't seen these guys the whole race, but Blackburn, I'm trying to look down through the names. I don't see, I've raced Boomer before. There's a couple of I think I've raced before, but for the most part, I don't see a couple of guys that I've raced. But this is a hard race for me. If this race was number 1, I would leave everybody. If I had number 1, I put it this way: if number 1 and number 3 had been switched, this would be a lot easier race, because it would be number 1. My legs would be fresh, and I could just push through these smaller hills. But because I had to push on the last one, I pushed on the first one so much, that may be the issue. That first one was a hill that I was determined to win, and I pushed so hard that I pushed myself, you know, pushed the more energy than I wanted to push out there. Because like I said, I always like pushing the pack. And because of this, and what I've learned from this, I am going to start doing way longer races, so I can just maintain that push for so much longer. I need to have it so that I can push at 500 kilowatts for 20 minutes with ease. It has to get to that point. And with the weight disparity, I get to weigh myself tomorrow, and I'm hoping I'm down in a month, maybe 10 pounds. That will give me, even though I'm still going to be pretty heavy, that still gives me a little bit more power back to myself. So my goal really every month is to lose 5 pounds. So that's why I say, even though I say end of the year, I'm thinking with that it puts me on about 350, and I should be fine enough to compete with the power that I'm putting out, with the endurances that I'm building. I should be able to move up to C and feel real comfortable there. So as you see, I'm in that pack of 7, 8, but I don't have no, I'm flat. I'm flat. I'm running at 1.9, 1.7. I'm 350 watts, 300 watts. My watt is just slowly going down, and that's me. And I'm pushing. If you see that, I am pushing. I'm tired. Sorry about the lights and the color in the room that I'm in right there, but I forgot to turn, I think I forgot to turn the lights on around me, so I'll be showing up pretty good on there. You can see that I'm trying to stay in the pack. I really am. But this hill right here, and this is what I told you, light guys have such an advantage. This hill right here, I try to put the wattage out just so I can stay with the group. And you see everyone leaves. And that's what I was talking about with the hills. A hilly ride is not really made for me, and this one is more deeper hills than normal. So I think also that I will ride these with a Class C rider, robot rider, if I can find one that does this route. And I'm going to chew this thing up for the next 3 or 4 months. I'm going to get my legs used to riding at this. I think it's time that my normal cruising is about 65 pedals per minute. I think it's time to get my normal cruise up to about 75, start working towards 75. And I think the only way I can do that is to change my group ride settings. And I'm thinking I'm gonna move up to a Class C, long, flat group ride, so I can get my pedals up a lot higher. And I think that's gonna take me a total maybe a month to do. Get it up from 65, but 65 is comfortable for me, and so I can sit and move really good. So that's my goal right now. is to get that up, and I'll feel great with that ride. But as you can see, I'm 10th. And it's just because the hills, and as we hit more hills, I can catch up to them. But if it's a steep enough hill, they roll away from me. But as you can see, as long as it's not too steep, I can pretty much get up to them. But me chasing the pack and me being in front of them chasing me is a total different feeling. You can see my heart rate going up. You can see my pedals coming down. And the power is there, but it's another 3 or 4% hill, and they're just constant. So they're not giving me a chance to really get going. As I get going, it gets real steep, and then it cuts down to 3%. But then I can't catch back up. And I come down, I come back up, and it goes up to 5, 6, 7%, and then I come back over. But the thing is, there's another hill, so there's no time to build up enough inertia to get me up the next hill, halfway up it. So they're slowly pulling away from me, and I'm trying to keep up with these guys. These guys are going, and these hills and my legs being tired, I just cannot put enough behind it. It's like I see them there, and I'm just trying. If you see I'm standing up on the bike, I am tired. And I'm trying to catch these guys, and at this point I go, let me just try to maintain 10th spot, because they're 9 seconds, 10 seconds ahead of me. And if you notice that when we get to a flat and I come out the hills, I can see them. I start cutting into that really good. I'm not increasing my pedals a ton, but because of the weight, I told you, with the weight and the way it goes, you see how much close I am coming up on them now? I'm just over the hills. I'm maintaining the speed of 28 miles an hour, and that's what I need to do. But I can't pedal through them, and I see the guys up front. They're not that far away, but it's just I don't have the power to chase them down, and that's where I get frustrated with myself with this. But if you're riding, don't get frustrated. But for me, my expectations for myself are so much higher. So I want to catch them so bad. And it's really frustrating because I don't feel like, if you notice the pedals, I'm trying to keep them at 80, a little higher than that, but I can't get close to these guys. I see them, and they're that far. They're only 9 seconds away, which is pretty good at this time, but it's another hill. And with this hill being a lot longer, they are able to pull away from me, but they're much lighter than me. You see they put 3.3, 3.4. I sum up to a 3.3, 3.4, and these are the guys. In fact, these are the guys behind me. So the problem I run into a lot of is when I have hills like this, it's only less than half, 4/10 of a mile left on this route, but it's a hill and I'm tired. And I'm trying my best to stay where I'm at, but this is a 4-point, which normally shouldn't be that hard, but it's just, I don't have the power to put in it. I'm running at 1.2 watts, 1.8. If you look at it, I'm 300 watts. This is what I normally ride when I'm just cruising on the bike, not trying to do anything for the day itself, just ride. I'm exhausted on this, and I'm hoping for the next race that it's not as hard for me to maintain. I see that people behind me are catching up to me. I'm trying to hold on to the 10th spot just to make myself feel a little bit more of an accomplishment to be that much closer. I think I held on close to 10th. It wasn't too far out, but if you look down closely at the bottom, they're catching me, and I see them coming, and I'm trying to push my legs to make it so that I can force my way through this, but I don't feel anything. And as I go up the hill, you see this guy pass me like I'm standing still, but yet you look at my wattage and my output, and I'm putting out, but he's at 3.4, 3.5, and it's because of the weight disparity that they can put out these many watts. I've seen my wife do it. She puts out 3.0, 2.5 easy. But like I say, she's about 150 pounds, 5'10", 5'11", and she could put out that kind of power because of the weight disparity. I myself, I look at her numbers and go, wow, you're just killing it. So my goal now is not to come in last. I'm only 600 feet away from the end. I'm really pushing it. It's only at 5%, but like I said earlier, if this was the first race, I might have had a different result. First race like this, legs fresh, ready to go, I could have pushed through, but this would have affected my, if this was the first race, second race would have been fine. And then I would have had that other one for my third race. I think the results would have been a lot different because it was a lot more flat before I hit a hill. This is a hill that's just monstrous to me. Not only that, I don't know what the next race is. I'm really trying to figure that out in my head. Hey, what is the next race? And I cannot remember what the next race is. I'm trying to hold on. I don't think I did, but I'm trying to hold on to the 14th spot. I see the guy 3 seconds behind me, and I'm just going, oh man, it's 100 feet past. Can I hold on? And I see, that he's coming up on me pretty quickly, but I end up pulling it off. And with that, this one is done. 3 out of the 4 out the way. I came in 14th in my group setting for this race. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll bring the last one to you soon. Have a nice day.